So what's up, guys? Today's video is going to be about a tool that I made / modified to help me with a very specific task. So I'll just show it to you real quick. It is an extended caulking gun, and I also made it so it's drill powered. So I need this for a job I'm doing on my house to try to seal up around my fireplace. I should have a video coming up when I get it finished. But I need to be able to reach over a barrier and caulk a seam on the floor, several seams on the floor. And so I needed to extend a caulking gun. Now you can't buy these. If I can find a link for one, I'll put it down in the description, but they're kind of pricey, 60 to 80 bucks on up. So I had enough stuff sitting around to make this, and so I'm just going to kind of go through how I made it. So a typical caulking gun, it's like this. It's got a little release trigger, the rod that pushes out, and there's a little kind of ratcheting mechanism and some springs. So every time you squeeze that, it pushes forward. And you can push that lever and release the pressure. So this unit that the caulk tube fits in is just spot welded in 4 places right next to the handle. So I just drilled those spot welds out. The little pusher plate is just held on with a single nut, and so I just removed that. And then the rod pulls straight out, and all of the ratcheting mechanism just comes out. So that left me with basically just this tube, and all I did was took some 2-inch PVC pipe, used my heat gun, and just slowly heated around the edge of this, and put it on there just to where the existing lip was. And then I just had some 1/8 inch rivets, and so I drilled and put some rivets in there. Now, before I put the PVC on, to make it drill powered, I drilled the center hole where the push rod goes through a little bit bigger so that it would accept a T-nut, and then I also drilled 3 separate holes for the T-nut I happen to have, and put it in there and bent the tabs over. And then this is just a 1/4 inch threaded rod. I've got a double nut on the plate. I did have to drill this pusher plate hole a little larger to accept the 1/4 inch rod. On the back side here, to mount the handle, I just took a scrap piece of 2x4 and cut it and sanded it to size to fit inside this pipe. You can see I've got a screw on each side just holding that in, and then it happens to be the perfect size for the handle. And then I used the existing spot weld holes and just put some screws into that piece of wood. There's a hole through the center of the piece of wood just to support the threaded rod, and there you go. That's basically all you need to do. You can just chuck a drill up to the threaded rod and drive it in and out however you need. Now, I wanted to weigh, my cordless drill is kind of heavy, but it runs really fast too. So I had this cordless screwdriver that's got the little locking chuck on it, and I happen to have a broken Phillips head bit that I broke working on this my insulation project, and so I just ground a little nipple on that and drilled a little recess into the threaded rod and welded those together. So now I can just lock that on there and it stays. And this cordless screwdriver runs at a much slower speed, and so it'll give me a lot better control over applying caulk. Now you can make this whatever length you wanted. I made it this length just because of the piece of threaded rod I had was only a certain length. And so you gotta make sure when you run your threaded rod all the way in to the handle that your pusher plate is close to the end so you get all the caulk out of the tube. If you didn't want to do the push rod or the threaded rod, you could do it with the old push style like this. You just need to buy a piece of round stock that was roughly the same diameter. I believe it's 5/16, and get whatever length you needed, and then just bend a little handle on the end just so it doesn't go all the way through. But maybe a little tricky to attach the pusher plate, because you would have to grind a little shoulder on the rod and cut some threads on it. But I guess you could always drill and tap for a screw to go through it too. So for me, this was basically free. I had everything at my house already, just scrap pieces from prior projects. I had multiple caulking guns, so great solution for me. I'm just sharing it in case someone else can use this for if they need an extended reach caulk gun. but this should give me the reach. I can put my tube of caulk in there and reach over my obstruction and caulk the gaps I need to down on the floor. Alright guys, so I figured I'd do a little follow-up since I haven't actually posted this video yet. So I did use my extended caulk gun to do my insulation project. This worked okay. It did give me the reach I wanted, but because it is threaded, and that is threaded and not able to just free spool on there, that pusher plate would turn with the threaded rod, which wouldn't be all bad, but then it caused the caulking tube to turn as well. So the original video that I saw where he just made a drill-powered caulk gun, if you held the tube of caulk with your hand, it would keep it from spinning. The little pusher plate would spin inside the caulk tube, but it wouldn't cause that big of an issue. With this being extended, I couldn't actually get my hand down there on it. So in hindsight, afterwards, had I wrapped a zip tie around it or something just to keep the tube of caulk from spinning, it may have worked okay. The other issue I had with where I was using it is, once I post that video, you'll see I had pretty limited clearance, and the caulk tube nozzle is only, a couple inches long sticking out the end, but the diameter of the actual gun is 2 inches, and I didn't have a lot of side-to-side clearance where I could get the point of the nozzle directly in the corner where I needed it. So the other thing is, at some point it got in a bind, and my little bit that I welded on, it actually snapped off. So my weld didn't break, but just past my weld, I guess it just, this hard tool steel or whatever, it probably weakened it being heated up as much as it did by the weld. So it broke, but I can still clamp a drill onto that. So one thing that I may change if I were to make this again is on the pusher foot, instead of locking this in between two nuts, where this is tied directly to the shaft, I may leave a little bit of clearance and use a nylock nut on there, or some kind of locking nut that was still low profile enough to be inside of this, under the surface of this pusher foot. That way this could spin, or this could stay still, and the shaft could still spin and push it and pull it however it needed to. That would prevent the tube of caulk from turning, and keep any angled cut that you had on your tip in the same position. So that'd be about the only thing I'd change. Also, if you upgraded to a larger threaded rod, this is 1/4 inch, but if you went with like a 3/8, or I don't know if you could find like an 8mm or something that was long enough, but you could actually grind flats on it so that it could fit inside of the bit driver. The 1/4 inch thread is just smaller than the 1/4 inch bit. So hopefully that gives you some ideas. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I'll post a link to my insulation project that I'm using this, just so you can see why I made this and what I used it for. And I'll put that up in the corner. Till next time, see you later.